Hello everyone, myself Yogita Mahatekar. In this lecture, we cover some basic definitions in statistics and use R, namely R software, to demonstrate their application. Statistic, Statistics is a practice of turning data into information to identify trends and understand features of population. I hope users know what is meant by a population and what is meant by a sample, and the concept of population and sample, it has to be clear to the listeners. So we will start with the very first definition of what is meant by a variable in the given numerical data. Statistics is language which analyzes, interprets data in a simpler form. So there are two ways to interpret numerical data in statistics, namely with the help of pictorial representations, or different statistical tools are available. Say for example, histogram, bar chart, pie chart, and so on. And secondly, by using some parameters, say for example, mean, mode, median, which represents central tendency of the data. Okay, so all the numerical data, when we interpret it in the form of a vector using a software, we can analyze that data using some basic commands in our software. So let us first of all see few definitions, which are the basic definitions. I'm sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible. So variable is a characteristic of an individual in a population, the value of which can differ in entities within that population. So say for example, suppose we consider any numerical data which is available inbuilt in R. So those numerical data we can access by using our software. So there is a command data. So we are going to see those commands on RStudio platform. So when we want to describe a numerical data, basically first of all we should know what is meant by a variable. A variable definition just now we have seen, it's a characteristic of an individual in a population. So when you represent given population in the form of certain characteristic of population, say for example, suppose I want to record all the numerical data related with the weights and heights of the individuals in a certain population of 100 people, then that numerical data of weights in kilogram and heights in centimeter represents the given numerical parameter associated with a given population. Now variable is, we can actually divide variables into two categories. The first category is the numerical variables. Second category is the categorical variables. Categorical variables further we can differentiate into two forms, namely a nominal categorical variable and the ordinal categorical variable. Okay, so we will first of all see how to identify variables in a given set of numerical data. For that, we are going to switch to RStudio. So I'm sharing my RStudio screen. So this is the RStudio screen, and here on the script window, I have written few commands. One by one, we will see what they do represents. Let me minimize the script window, and the console window will be maximized so that we can see all the commands in the script file. So very first thing that we have just now seen is what is meant by a variable. Definition we have seen. Now the second command, data, and the empty round bracket in front of that represents, or it shows or displays all inbuilt data in R. Or we also say that this command, data and round empty bracket in front of that, shows automatically loaded datasets packages in RStudio. So this is RStudio interface. So how to install this RStudio on your device and all installation steps and the basic commands, basic things related with our software we have seen in my series of YouTube videos. So let us compile this second command, namely data and round empty bracket. For compiling any command that you have written, these commands I have already written. We are just going to see what are the importance and what is the output of all these commands. So when we compile this command on second line, data empty round bracket on second line, this line I'm saying, it displays all inbuilt data that are available in RStudio. So to compile the second line, we will just go on that line. Cursor will blink in front of that command and you have to press Ctrl plus Enter at the same time. When I press Ctrl plus Enter, now you can see the second window in script window is displaying all those commands, all those packages and the numerical data which are inbuilt data in R. We can see their names. So for example, BOD is one of the numerical data. So all these are numerical datas which are available to us, which are inbuilt datas in RStudio. So their names are here: air, passengers, then BJ cells, BOD, CO2, and what these numerical data represents, their information is written in front of that name. So Lake Huron, level of Lake Huron 1875 to 1972. Orange is the name of the numerical data, and the growth of orange trees is displayed in that particular numerical data. So suppose we want to open or view the content of this numerical data whose name is orange, we may go to console and we just write the command capital VIEW, and inside the empty round bracket you write down the name of that particular numerical data, which is orange. And when I press Ctrl plus Enter, now you can see again in the script window, you can see the contents of this orange data set. Okay, so there are three columns in this data set, namely R. First column is of tree, second column is of age, and third column is of circumference. So age of first tree and the circumference of first tree, like that they have recorded the numerical data. Now you can play with this numerical data and you may draw the conclusions regarding the mean age of tree, then the mean circumference of tree, median age, mood, and so on. So these are readily available data to us in RStudio. So this is what this first command data empty bracket will do. Second command, that means on line number 3, which is library empty bracket. So this will display all packages which are available to us. So every package have a different facility in the sense different advanced commands will be fed to this particular fed to this particular software. So say for example, when I just go on third line and when I press Ctrl plus Enter, there is a problem in this library because the spelling is wrong. Now it's correct. When I say Ctrl plus Enter, now you can see these are the packages available and which supports RStudio. So for example, say ggplot2 is one of the package which is available in RStudio, which provides the facility to enhance the pictorial representation of histogram, pie chart, and whatever pictorial representations we will use in RStudio. Yeah, so now let us go ahead. Now let us go on the next line, that is line number 4. The command written over here is chickwets, CHICTS, chickwets, and inside the square bracket we have written 1:5 comma, and that's it. So when I compose or when I compile this particular command, basically chickwets is one of the numerical data that is available to us. Let us go to console and let us write VIEW, and I will write that name of the numerical data chickwets inside this round bracket. When I say control plus enter, it will show us the contents of that numerical data whose name is chickwets. So there are only two columns. So chickwets, the first column represents weight of chicks and second column represents the type of feed you are providing to those chicks. So some chicks have they're fed with horse bean, few chicks have fed with linseed, then sunflower, meat meal, and so on. Accordingly, there is either a weight loss or weight gain in the chicks. So therefore, this numerical data you can play with to, and we will see different commands that are used in R to represent this numerical data in the form of some central tendency parameters like mean, median, mode, and the dispersion parameters are also there like standard deviation and variation. Mostly in this lecture, we will consider the central tendency of numerical data, and we will find how to find out mean, median, and mode to represent the given numerical data and its central tendency, basically. Yes, so these are few commands just now we have seen. The next is when we go to line number 5, chickwets dollar weight. When I say, so I'm talking about the command on line number 5, chickwets dollar weight. So if I go on that line and if I say control plus enter, it will show us a very first column which is displayed in the form of a numerical data horizontally inside the console window. So you just concentrate on console window. Here you can see there are total, I think, 66 chick weights we have recorded in the first column of the numerical data. Basically, if you go on the contents of this numerical data chick weights, so first column you can observe 179 is the first figure, and the last figure it ends at 66. Sorry, there are 71 chicks and their weights and feeding type we have recorded. Okay, so there are 71 chick weights are recorded and they are displayed on in the console window. So this can be done by using the command chickweights $weight. Similarly, you can do chickweights $feed and it will represent the feeding that you have given to chickweights. So if I press control plus enter, all those 71 chicks and what kind of feeding we have given to them is displaying in the console window. Say for example 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. First 10 chicks we have provided horse bean as their food. Few of them, next 10 are we have given linseed as their food, and so on. Okay, so these are some important numerical datas I just wanted to show you. So let us turn out towards the basics or the basic concepts. So basically variable, we have seen what is meant by a variable and we have seen how to view the numerical data that are available to us in an inbuilt form in RStudio. So basically if when we have seen this numerical data of chicks, two variables are there in this numerical data. So can you identify those two variables? The first variable is actually a weight variable because it represents some characteristic of an individual in that population of chicks. Similarly, second variable that is associated with this numerical data is feeding type basically, and that is also one of the characteristic of an individual in the population. Okay, so variable is a characteristic of an individual in a population. Yeah, so now we have seen there are two types of variables, numeric variables and categorical variables. Now here one can see weights are in the form of numerical figures. These are the numerical figures, weights in kgs you can say, or in even gram, whatever unit you have applied it. So but I can say that weight is a variable which is a numeric kind of variable, and feeding type is a variable name is feed, and it is a categorical variable. So categorical variable is basically not a numerical data, but it can be again differentiated into two another kinds of variables, namely a nominal variable and the ordinal variable. Here I have written the differentiation, further differentiation of the variable. The variable we can divide into two categories: numeric variables. Numerical data is available to us. Say for example, weights of chicks. In that numerical data just now we have seen. Second is categorical variables, which gives us some characteristics, not in the form of numerical data. So it's a qualitative variable, you can say. Okay, so basically categorical variables are further divided into two forms: nominal categorical variable and ordinal categorical variable. Nominal categorical variable is such a categorical variable where the ranking doesn't matter a lot. So when can arrange you can arrange numerical data in increasing or decreasing order, but you cannot do it in the form of qualitative variables or categorical variables. So nominal are the categorical variables where ranking doesn't matter a lot. Say for example, in the present case of numerical data of chick weights, the weight is a numerical data, but the second is a categorical data, namely feed. And here we even if we arrange the feeding type in the form of alphabetical order, like say Cassian first, then after that horse bean, then after that linseed, and so on, it doesn't matter a lot for us. So it's a nominal variable. An ordinal variable can be naturally ranked. The example of ordinal variable I can give you is the dose of a drug. So the dose of the drug can be low, medium, or high, and we can arrange it naturally. Like low will come first, then medium dose will come, and then higher power dose will come. So it might be useful for research when we arrange the power of drug in the form of increasing or decreasing order for practical purposes or for experimentation purposes in research. Okay, now let's consider this numerical data of chick weights having two variables, weight and feed, and let's play with it. Yes, so when I say yeah, we have seen it. Basically, let us consider some other numerical data. We have played with chick weights numerical data. Other numerical data that is inbuilt in R is QEX. QEX is the name of the numerical data which is readily available to us. So I'll just say view QEX. It will show you the contents of that numerical data. So when I press Control Enter, now you can see it shows latitude, longitude, depth, and so on, where the earthquakes are happening. So basically a spot on the earth where the earthquakes are happening, that particular spot is actually a two-dimensional spot, because unless and until they provide you latitude and longitude, you cannot identify a spot on the earth. So latitude and longitude, these are the most variables to represent a spot where the earthquakes are happening. So this much recorded information is available to us. So columns lat and long, the first two columns I'm talking about, lat and long, provide latitude and longitude of events. Depth provide depth of the event in kilometers. So this third variable that is there in the numerical data is providing depth of the event in kilometers. MAG provides magnitude on Richter scale, and stations provide number of observation stations that recorded or detected the event of earthquakes. So this is how all these variables in this numerical data is defined. So there are 5 variables in this numerical data whose name is quakes. And so suppose we have to see where the earthquakes are happening more frequently or where the earthquakes are not happening in a larger scale. For that, if I say if we plot the first variable, namely lat versus the another variable long long, we can identify those spots where the earthquakes are happening, because pictorial representation is always a clear and enhanced data which we can understand. So basically plot means a scatter plot of all the spots where earthquakes are happening, and all these spots will let us know where the earthquakes are happening more frequently. So let us use plot command in RStudio. So here you can see 7th line command we have just now compiled. Now let us go on 8th line. Quex, when I say, and inside a square bracket when I say 1:5, it will just show you first 5 rows of that particular numerical data. But right now you can see when I say view Quex, it is showing you how many how many spots that are identified by the particular stations, near about 3402, 406 even. So the number is large basically, but suppose I have to play with only first 5 rows, I will compile this command. So quex, and inside a square bracket you just write 1:5 and comma, and that's it. So when I press Control Enter, now you can see in a console window only first 5 spots are identified. Okay, now let's go to next line. When I say plot, so plot is the command in RStudio, plot plot on line number 9. Quex $long means longitude versus latitude. Quex $lat lat. These are the names of variables that they have given, and I will label x-axis as x using xlab. Xlab is for labeling x-axis. Xlab is, I'm labeling it as longitude, and y-axis we will label it as latitude. So this is how to give the components of that plot command. It's basic syntax. First of all, you write down the variables in the given numerical data, what versus what you have to plot. So I have to plot longitude versus latitude because I have to identify those spots of earthquakes. So let us do it quickly. So when I say plot, so I'm compiling, I'm going on line number 9 and I'm pressing Control plus Enter. Now you can see in files and plot window, sorry, one can see in files and plot window, a two-dimensional display is generated. I can say it zoom. So when I say zoom, this is longitude versus latitude we have plotted, and all those spots where the earthquakes are happening, they are identified with the hollow circles. Hollow circles, and if the circles are overlapping too much on each other, it's becoming on darker side. So you can identify the spots where the earthquakes are happening rarely or happening in a larger scale. Next, on line number 10, let us consider how to find out mean, median, and mode of the numerical data that is available to us. So basically, suppose I have given a list of 8 numbers, 8 numerical values. We should be able to find out mean, median, and mode of all those numbers, and we should be able to apply all those commands to the variables which are present in the given numerical data like quakes and chick weights. We have seen it. So say for example, in chick weights numerical data, I should be able to find out what is the mean weight of chicks and what is the mean magnitude in case of quakes, say. Before I start with mean, median, and mode, let's see few basic definitions of those central tendency variables. So let's proceed. So we have just now seen what is univariate data and multivariate data. Univariate data is basically a data that we deal with when discussing or analyzing data related to any one dimension. Say for example, chick dollar weight. It is, so chick weight, so weight of a chick is a univariate data as it is represented with a single number. But now, right now, in case of quakes, I have to specify a spot where the quakes are happening with the help of 2 variables, namely longitude and latitude. Unless and until I know longitude and latitude, I cannot identify the spot where the earthquake is happening. So when it is necessary to consider data with respect to variables that exist in more than one dimension, then the data is considered to be a multivariate data. So I hope the difference is clear. Next, we have seen the example of univariate data, namely that weight of a chick, and the example of multivariate data, namely the quakes. Now, what is the difference between parameter and statistics, that I will just tell you in short. Parameter is actually a statistical quantity associated with a population, and statistic is a parameter that is associated with a sample from the population. So statistic, you can say, is the sample mean or sample median or sample mode, and parameter you can say is the population mean or a population median. Now let us see central centrality, centrality of any numerical data we can measure with the help of three parameters: mean, median, and mode, which are most probably or mostly used nowadays. Sample mean is defined as, or is first of all denoted as x bar, which is equal to summation xi by n, where n represent number of atoms in the given numerical data, and numerator summation xi, where I will run from 1 to up to n, represent sum of all the numerical values given in the data. Sample median will denoted by x tilde, and it is n plus 1 by 2th term when n is odd, and it is n by 2th term plus n by 2 plus first term in the given numerical data when n is even. So when number of atoms in the given numerical data is odd, follow this thread of sample median definition, and when number of points in the given numerical data is an even number, then follow this thread of the sample median definition. Now let us see in RStudio how we can apply or compile, or even we can find out all these quantities very quickly. So now let's go to line number 10. Line number 10 is actually a numerical data we have converted in the form of a vector. So you are having a list of numerical data like 2, 4.4, 3, 3, 2, 2.2, 2, 4. So these are the 8 numbers which are given to us, and we are going to convert this numerical data in a list form or in the form of a row vector. That you can do with this command C. So C, and you write down all your figures available to you in the numerical data given to you in the form of the round bracket, inside the round bracket in front of C, and you just give the name to that data that is available to you. So I am giving the name x data. So when I compile this command on line number 10, so I'll go to line number 10, press Ctrl plus enter. Now you can see in environmental window how many numbers are there in the given list is going to display. So x data is a list of 8 numbers from 1 to 8. Here it is displayed. Let us go ahead. Now I am interested in finding out mean or average of all the numbers in this particular data. These are 8 numbers and I have to find then their mean or average. For that the command is mean. So your name of your numerical data is x data that you have given it. So it's of user choice. I have given the name to this list of numbers as x data. So I will say mean of x data, and I will call it, or I will name it as x dot bar. Why I have given the name x dot bar? Because the mean or the average denoted by x bar in statistics. So that's the only reason. You can give any other name that you want. So now let's compile the command on line number 11. Let's say Control plus enter. Okay, so now you can see here in environmental window x bar is going to x bar is displaying, x dot bar is displaying, it is 2.825. So this is the average of all those 8 numbers in the given list. So very firstly we have converted given list in the form of row vector of length 8 because there are 8 numbers, and we have found their average, which is 2.825. Okay, now let us go ahead with this with the command on line number 12. So it is x dot tilde. It's a name given by me, and we are going to find out the median of this particular numerical data. So the name of the command is median. Apply it on x data inside the round bracket. So plus Control plus enter. Now you can see in environmental window x tilde is 2.6, which is median of the data. Okay, now you can see view x. Sorry, I have forgotten the command on line number 13. Line number 13 is xtab. So xtab is a table command we are applying on x data. So what this table command do, it will display the frequency. So let's first of all compile it. Control plus enter when I say. So now you can see in the environmental window, it is displaying how many times 2 is appearing in the list. So it is appearing 3 times, I think so. Yes, so that's the number 3. So how many times 2 is appearing? 3 times. We are looking at the output of xtab. After applying table command, table commands basically gives us frequency of all the numbers that is appearing in the given list. So 2 is appearing 3 times, 4.4 is appearing only once, 3 is appearing twice, 2 is, we have done 2.2 is appearing only once, and 4 is also appearing only once. So table command, what table command do? It displays frequencies of all the numbers that is appearing in the list. Next is view TAB. When I say capital VIEW, view XTAB, when I say control plus enter, you can see that X data is here to 2.23 and so on, and the corresponding frequencies are displaying on the second column. So you can separately view, you may also separately view the contents of XTAB variable. Yeah, so suppose I have to find out minimum value of this data. I will use the command min and I will apply it on X data inside the round bracket. Press Ctrl plus Enter. You can see in the console window also. In the console window, the minimum value, which is equal to 2, is getting displayed. Similarly, you can find out the maximum value of the given numerical data with the maximum command max command. Control plus Enter. You can see, concentrate on console window. Outputs are coming in console window. 4.4 is the maximum value. Now suppose you have to find out range of the given numerical data, means the minimum and maximum value at the same time. Use range command on X data. Whatever name of your data you have given, write down inside in the round bracket and apply range command on that. When I press Control Enter, you can see 2.0 and 4.4 are the maximum and minimum values of the given numerical data. Next is maximum of X table. When I say, it will give you the maximum frequency and the corresponding value also you can see. That will just go ahead. So maximum command on XTAB means the table command. So first of all, we will find out the frequencies by using table command. We will give the name XTAB tab to that, and then we will find out the maximum of XTAB. So it displays which number is appearing mostly in the which number is appearing maximum number of times in the given numerical data. So say when I say press Control plus Enter, 3 is the maximum frequency. Now you have to see which number is appearing 3 times. So basically we can see from environment window here also 2 is appearing 3 times. So 2 is the mode of the given numerical data. How mode is defined? The number that is appearing at the most number of times or maximum number of times in the given numerical data. So 2 is appearing 3 times. Other numbers are appearing less than that. So 2 is the mode. And the corresponding maximum frequency is 3. So when I apply maximum command on XTAB, it will give you a maximum frequency. Now I have to display that number which is appearing maximum number of times along with its frequency. I will use this command. I will call it as d.bar and I will apply XTAB command on XTAB is equal to maximum of XTAB. So when I compile the command on line number 19, it will give you that number that is appearing most of the times and along with its frequency. And d dot bar again you have to view. So d dot bar again I have written on line number 20. When I say Control plus Enter, now you can see in console window 2 numbers are appearing, 2 and 3. So first is 2, which is your mode, which is appearing 3 times. So the number along with its maximum frequency. 2 is the mode because it appearing maximum number of times, namely 3 times. Okay. Yeah. So next, suppose I have to find out mean weight of chicks grouped by feed type. So you know that numerical data chick weights. Now there are 3, 4, 5 types of feedings we are giving to those chicks, but I am interested in finding the mean weight of chicks grouped by the feed type. Say for example, I have to find out all those chick weights, mean chick weights whose feeding type is horse bean. For that, I will apply this command on line number 22. Commenting you can do with the help of hashtag in R. So to find mean weight of chicks grouped by feed type, we will use this command, mean command on chick weights, and inside the square bracket chick weights $feed. Now I am interested in finding mean weight of chicks whose feeding type is horse bean. So you write down is equal to, and inside the double colon you write down that feed type in which you are interested to find their mean weights. So when I compile the command on line number 22, Control plus Enter, Okay, you can see in the console window 160.2 is the number that is displaying it, which is the mean weight of chicks whose feeding type is horse bean. But suppose now I am interested in finding average values of weights of all feeding types. So there are 4-5 feeding types: horse bean, linseed, other things. Okay, so for that tapply is the function, and you have to use the syntax. So there are three parts inside this round bracket in front of tapply command. First of all, you have to find out mean of what you have to find it out. So I have to find out mean weight. So I will first of all, in the first category, I will write chick weights dollar weight, then index means according to feeding type. For all feeding types, I have to find their mean weight. So I will write index is equal to chick weights dollar feed, and the function fun means function that I'm going to apply for all these categorical variables is mean. I have to find out mean weights for all feeding types. So this is the command on line number 24. When I say control plus enter on this tapply function is very important. Now you can see in the console window mean chick weight for the feeding type casein is 323 point something. For horse bean feeding type it is 160.2, which we have already seen in the previous command individually for the feeding type horse bean. Then linseed is 1218.75. Meat meal when we provide the mean weight is 276 point something. Soybean 246 point something, and so on. So tapply is a very important function to compute frequency. Next, to compute frequency of all categorical variables, we will use the table command. So table command on chick weights dollar feed, which gives us frequency of all the categorical variables. So how many chicks are they're fed with horse bean, how many chicks are fed with linseed, how many chicks are fed with meat meal, and so on. All those numbers are going to display in a very one command. So on line number 26, I will compile with control plus enter. You can see in the console window corresponding frequencies are displaying. Casein is provided for 12 chicks, horse bean for 10, linseed for 12, meat meal for 11, soybean for 14, and so on. Okay, so this line number 26 just now we have compiled. Let's go ahead now to calculate the proportion of all the variables. We will use table commands. So basically table commands will give you all the information in a very one command, in a one line command. To compute frequency of all categorical variables, we have used this. Now to compute proportion of all variables, what we will do is we will just divide table of chick weights feed by n row. N row is a command which gives you total number of chicks for all the feeding kind of category. So basically here this 12, 10, 12, 1, 14 and 12, these are all the corresponding numbers which we will divide. So we'll go row wise and we'll calculate that number of chicks for that particular feeding type. So this is the denominator, and numerator is a table of chick weights dollar feed, which is the frequency, because table command find out the frequency of chick weights according to their feeding type. So if the numerator is the frequency and the denominator is total number of total number of chicks with that feeding type, then this ratio will give you the proportion for all the feeding types, proportion of chicks for all the feeding types. So let's compile line number 28, control plus enter. Now you can see in the console window, these are the proportions. So which proportion is highest? For I think soybean, it's the proportion is 0.19 something, which is the highest proportion. Now to find out separate mean of chicks fed soybean, we will use this command. Sum of chick weights feed type is soybean divided by the number of chick weights, total number of chick weights. So let's compile the command on line number 30. When I press control plus enter, it's 0.1971. Okay. Then to find out the proportion of chicks fed either soybean or horse bean, we will use this mean chickweed's dollar feed is equal to soybean, and with this vertical bar, chickweed's dollar feed is equal to horse bean. So either or. So the proportion of chicks which are fed with either soybean or either horse bean, which is calculated by this command on line number 34. So let us compile the command on line number 34. Control plus enter. It's 0.3380. So this is a proportion which are which is a proportion of chicks fed either soybean or horse bean. When I have to round up the given proportion into up to certain number of digits, round function is useful. So round function is also a very important function. So say for example, suppose sum of chickweeds feed is equal to soybean divided by n row of chickweeds, means this is actually a proportion of all the chicks which are fed with soybean. But now I will restrict number of digits up to say 3. So in that proportion, number of digits I am displaying it up to 2 or 3. So let's say 3 so that we will understand, because you know in the console window, if I see in the console window, these proportions are with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 decimal places after that decimal point. So I will restrict it up to 3 now. So round is a function, and a round function you have to apply on that proportion part, comma, digits is equal to 3. So that's the syntax. When I press Control plus Enter, now you can see instead of 0.1971831, it's just displaying 0.197 up to 3 decimal places. And lastly, to find out the percentage of chicks on soybean diet, we'll take mean of chickweed's dollar feed is equal to soybean and multiply it by 100. So when I say mean of chickweed's dollar feed is equal to soybean, it's basically a proportion of all the chicks which are fed with soybean. And when we multiply proportion by 100, it will display the percentage of all the chicks on soybean diet. So let us compile the command on line number 38. So when I press Control plus Enter, it's simply 19%, 19.71831 something. 19% of the chicks are fed with soybean kind of feed. Okay, so here also you can restrict the number of digits after the decimal point. So that's it. So in this lecture we will stop here. Follow the next series of lectures along with this very first lecture on central tendency of the numerical data. So thank you.